he talked about the importance of depth, because we could talk so much about the roster and the team heading into the season, but what's most important is the team you have at the end of the season heading into the playoff. And you could be playing up to 17 games if your season goes the way you anticipate it to. Depth is the biggest key for this team. We could talk about Will Howard. We could talk about Judkins being added to the running back room, but depth, and not just the quarterback and running back position, but depth across the board is huge, especially if they aspire to make a deep run into the inaugural 12-team college football playoff this season.
So you mentioned the potential of 17 games. You're playing a national championship. It's 16 or 17. And the difference is with college football, there is no waiver wire. This isn't the Cincinnati Bengals where you can go grab somebody, scoop a guy up who you had in training camp earlier in the year. And so defensively, you're going to need to make sure you're playing eight D linemen. You're going to be playing 3 and 4 linebackers for 2 spots. You're going to make sure that you're playing 7 and 8 defensive backs for the 5 spots to make sure that those guys that are young are ready to go should someone hurt. B, making sure the young guys who are good enough to play get on the field, because if you're good enough to play, you should be on the field. And then C, you're going to continue to develop those guys, and help keep the frontline guys fresh, if you will. And so you're going to need to do that at running back. And you look at the Judkins and Henderson situation. Receiver, they're going to play a lot of guys. And then especially on defense, you're going to have that. The only place you really don't rotate is the offensive line and the quarterback. And outside, they'll probably still work some young offensive line in. But I think you'll see more of this when the game is 21-3 in the second quarter. Hopefully, you're going to see early on getting some guys in there. Jermaine Matthews is rotating in consistently on defense. You'll see Lorenzo Styles hopefully coming in for nickel for Hancock a little bit and rolling these guys through there to make sure that some of those young freshman safeties are rolling in for Lathan and Caleb. And obviously the defensive line, getting a guy like making sure that you've got a nice rotation going with Corey Simon, Sonny Styles, and CJ Hicks. Probably throwing Gabe Powers in there too to make sure they're all ready to go and that they'll all be fresh. And then when their time is called, if someone is hurt and somebody has to go a full 60, 70 plays in a game, they're prepared enough to do that. So it's exciting. Ryan's taking an aggressive approach with that. And that's why people talk about like a collection of talent versus a team. They brought in a handful of transfers at select positions. They didn't have anybody of consequence really leave during that second spring window. And I think that speaks to the fact that some of these guys knew, hey, I might not be a guy that's going to be the frontline guy, but they're going to play me. I'm going to get 35, 40% snaps when I need to. I'm going to get developed, and I'm going to be in a program that's highly competitive. And so I think that speaks to the health of the program right now.